Welcome back to Central Valley Talk. I'm Mike Briggs. The show is Briggs on Books, and it's that season, isn't it? To start thinking about little gifts you're going to give for people during the holiday season. I think I've got the perfect gift, especially if you have some kids to give gifts to. This isn't a holiday book. This is a book that should be read all year round, I think, and check it out. Hello, my name is Cairo, and not only do I have the book and information on the book, I have the author here too, if I can find her. There she is. Lovelee Lundy. Welcome, Lovely.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
By the way, I think this is a very important book, and I'm glad you wrote it.
Me
Uh,
too. Thank you.
by the way, tell our viewers where you're located.
So I am in Beaverton, Oregon, maybe 30 minutes out from Portland.
And today, of course, is November 20th, 2024. So if you're watching this any other time, you probably don't know, but there's this giant storm hitting the West Coast right now, and Lovely's right in the path of it. So I'm glad you're able to talk to us, and you have power, and power's on, and everything like that. So that's good. Tell us about this book. Hello, my name is Cairo.
Well, this book is actually inspired by my son, Cairo. He was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder at the age of 2. And at the time, getting that diagnosis was overwhelming.
Hmm.
A lot of the times you get a diagnosis and you're thinking, okay, great, what next?
Hmm.
So my goal for this was to tell his story. I don't want to be my son's voice, but I want to enhance his voice so that his story can be told. And I wanted to be able to teach other parents and peers and professionals just a little bit more about autism.
Nice, nice. Now, your son, of course, is not the first person to have autism, and a lot of people out there give birth to an autistic child, and sometimes they think they're the only one or feel like they're the only one. But a book like this can certainly help others understand autism, maybe help others prepare for it,
Definitely.
prepare for
Uh,
raising a kid. Yeah.
yeah, prepare the best way you can. I mean, one thing that we know is that autistic individuals are different. They
Hmm.
vary between their strengths and their challenges and their sensory. Everything is so different.
Hmm.
So you can't really put everyone in one category. So my goal was to just tell my son's story. I don't want to speak for every autistic person out there. I just want to be able to show a glimpse of what it's like for us.
Yeah. Now, I tell you, I was born in the 1950s, and I had never met an autistic person until I was an adult. And it's amazing. We have many friends who are autistic, and maybe in the past we would have just called our friend weird, but and didn't realize what this being on the spectrum was. But now there is quite a spectrum, and we know and enjoy and love so many autistic people. It's amazing, and uh, why is it important for kids to learn about autism?
I personally think that it's important for children to learn about autism because we have this growing rate where autistic individuals, it's not even a growing rate, but there's so much information coming out where there's a high level of anxiety, there's a lot of bullying going on,
Hmm.
there's a lot of depression. And I feel like in order to be able to help mitigate some of these things, we need to start teaching our children that everyone is different, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And it's okay to ask questions, but also to be respectful. So I personally believe that teaching and understanding can help bridge that gap
Hmm.
so that we can kind of have a less bullying and more understanding.
And it sounds like this book teaches about being different beyond autism. We have a lot of different people: tall people, short people, fat people, skinny people, whatever. And it sounds like this book would open us up to the differences and even celebrating the differences.
Definitely. One thing that I wanted to implement in the book is the characters, and I wanted to show that they all look different.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
autism does not have a look, and I really want to get that idea out there that you can't look at the person and say, oh, that person's autistic. They might have some characteristics of autism, but autism also can look like other disorders as well.
Yeah.
So I want people to start understanding that autism doesn't have a look
Yeah.
and that it's not limited to just one definition or one understanding.
Okay. Sounds like more than just kids need to read this book. Everybody should read this book. Um,
Definitely.
Now, I asked you before we came on the air, but tell our viewers, what age is this book written for?
So I put it in a way where it's 2 to 10, but I don't want to necessarily limit it to that age group. I wrote it in a way that can be simplified so that people can really understand what autism is. But I also included, because the book is also dedicated to new parents of newly diagnosed children. So there's a letter in there that kind of talks about my experience as a parent when my son got his diagnosis. And there's also activities and definitions in the book as
Right.
well to
Yeah,
be able to further the learning.
that's great. Now, I I got nieces and nephews that this book will be perfect under the Christmas tree for them. And but I tell you, if you have kids, if you don't know this, if you have a kid between 2 and 10, your kid's going to be going to a lot of birthday parties this next couple of years. So when you go to order this book, don't click once. Click 10 times. Order 10 copies of it. You'll always have somebody to give it to. And I think books are just the best gifts, especially one like this. It's very important and geared towards children. Um,
Yeah.
how can you tell us how old your son is now?
My son is 5. He just turned 5 in July.
5 years old. Okay, okay. And he's seen the book, no doubt.
Yes, so he actually likes to call it his Cairo book.
Uh,
And so he goes Cairo when he wants to read it for his bedtime.
yeah.
And he goes and he points at the pictures and he goes, Cairo, mommy. So he definitely is starting to see himself in the book. And that's important because I definitely wanted to be able to give him that sense of self-identity as
Yeah.
well.
Now, when did this book come out?
The book was actually released March of this year, so
Okay.
it's still very new, fairly new.
And the next question, you may know what it is. What's next? You have another book coming along?
I do. The next book is actually called Cairo Finds His Confidence.
Nice.
And it's another children's book where I wanted to kind of center around understanding, not understanding autism, but also incorporating affirmations in there for children as
Nice.
well.
Very good. Yeah, that's great. I mean, we have so many people watching that are they're writing books right now. They've been writing for years. They can't quite finish, but they're going to have a big surprise when they finish because there's a whole another thing after writing it, and that's publishing it. Once you've got through all this, I hope it comes easier as you write more and more books.
I hope so too. I think there's also a challenge because in order to truly give life to each book, each project, you really have to dedicate yourself to it.
Yeah,
But I really do hope that it does come easier.
yeah. I mean, I have nothing to say about it. I can't finish writing a book. So congratulations to you for
Thank
doing
you.
that and getting it out there. If I have your web address on the screen, loveleelundy.com. Great web address, by the way. And your Instagram is the same, Lovelee Lundy. And what will we find there on your web page?
So you'll find the book. You'll also find my first book, which is called Feel, Heal, and Enjoy. It's a poetry book dedicated to women's empowerment and talks more about um, the struggles and challenges that people of color may have faced
Nice.
from a personal perspective, my personal perspective.
Very good.
And coming soon, I'm also putting together sensory kits
Hmm.
for families in need that may would like to have these. So if anyone would like to reach out, it's not on the website directly, but if there is a family that would like to have a sensory kit put together, I would happily send them one.
Very good. Lovelee Lundy. They're already signaling me we're out of time. I could talk to you all day, though. You're inspirational to me.
Yeah.
You have some last thoughts about the book or autism or anything in the world you want to tell our viewers?
I think the last thing that I would probably say is, and this goes beyond autism, just be kind. Just be kind to each other. I mean, we have enough things in this world that we face, and sometimes just being a listening ear or just kind of giving someone a smile and saying hello could really make their day.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great message. Lovelee Lundy. You're lovely, Lovelee
Thank
Lundy.
you.
And appreciate your time, and I hope you'll come back on our show again and again.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
All right, for our viewers, don't go anywhere because we'll be back with another author right after this.